This month is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. CHOC, the Childhood Cancer Foundation of South Africa, is aiming to create awareness of the impact of the disease and how parents can detect early warning signs. It is estimated that currently less than half of children with cancer in South Africa are diagnosed, and many of those who are diagnosed are in advanced stages of the illness. However, there has been a significant increase of 1.56% in early detection over the past. But to tell us more, we're joined in studio by Taryn Seegers, who is CHOC's Communications Coordinator. Taryn, good to have you in studio. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you so much.
So, childhood cancer in South Africa. You know, we mentioned that there's a significant increase on last year when it came to early detection, but perhaps you can give us a little bit more information on those numbers.
Definitely. So there has been an increase, and we do put it down to the public are becoming more aware of childhood cancer. Since 2011, CHOC have trained over 25,000 healthcare professionals, including traditional healers, workers, and that's just about the early warning signs. And by giving them that awareness platform, you're helping the kids being diagnosed early enough, and that increases your survival rates of childhood cancer.
Yeah. So we also talk about those warning signs. So let's start right at the beginning. I'm a mother, as a lot of people are, or a parent, and there are things that we should look out for. What do we look out for in our kids?
So with CHOC, we work on the St. Siluan warning signs, and basically it's just an acronym of the letters. So always seek medical help. If you find something is just a bit peculiar about your child at the time, go to a doctor. Rather safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Then you look for lumps, any unusual lumps in the body, if there's unusual spots in the eyes, if the eyes have a bit of goes a bit dizziness, there's a bit of a blur in the eyes, a squinting in the eyes. If the child is all of a sudden getting headaches, they're not feeling well, they're not on balance, things like that. It's very important. Those early warning signs can be found on our website. It's just vital to always look out for those signs that aren't usual in your child.
You know, one thing, and I know as being a parent, you sort of, your child will be complaining all the time. So you almost say sometimes, oh, he's fine, he's just looking for attention.
Definitely.
But, you know, there's obviously signs that you have to take very, very seriously. And if they're consistently complaining or
prolonged,
then I suppose that's a time when you start thinking, hang on a second, there's something up here.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Kids also, if you find bruises that just aren't going away, or if they all of a sudden they have these headaches that aren't going away, they put it down to growing pains, all of a sudden your bones are aching. It's not usual that a child will have those pains for longer than 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So you do need to go see somebody who can diagnose properly.
Where does CHOC fit into this picture?
So CHOC is nationwide. We have basically we're in all of the pediatric oncology units around South Africa. So we just assist the families. We're there from diagnosis. We walk the journey with the families all the way to hopefully end of treatments or unfortunately end of life.
Yeah. So the first if somebody notices that their kid is not doing well, it's not CHOC that you go to. You go to a doctor, and once your child has been diagnosed, this is where you step into to try and offer assistance to families and parents and loved ones.
We do, though, if the family aren't sure about the warning signs or they feel like they just need somebody to talk to, they're welcome to phone CHOC. We will help them, refer them to a proper pediatric oncology unit, refer them to the doctors, and just help them with that path, because it's a scary path.
Yeah.
And when you aren't sure about where to go or who to talk to, CHOC is there to hold your hand.
Yeah, and you know, it is. I don't even want to imagine what it is like to have to go through something like this. I can only just imagine the trauma that a parent must go through seeing one of their children suffering, or being diagnosed and having to carry this and seeing this little innocent child. But in terms of, I see here that there's been a 35% year-on-year increase in CHOC beneficiaries. Talk to me about that, and I can imagine, maybe in my mind, I'm thinking it's a lot more urban areas than in the rural areas, these beneficiaries.
Definitely. So in your rural areas, a lot of myths and stigmas come around childhood cancer. It's a topic that's almost taboo, and people don't want to discuss it because perhaps they've done something in their previous life, or they're just unfamiliar with what cancer is. And why should children get cancer? It's not normal. So there is a rise in that, and we do put it down to just those people are now becoming more aware of the disease, and they're becoming more, that they know that it's serious, and if you don't get treatment, your child is going to pass away.
Yeah. So for people in rural areas, though, access to these facilities, we hear of people having to walk for kilometers on end or catch taxis that are not very regular to try and get to a medical facility to get treatment. I mean, for a child that's diagnosed with cancer in a rural area, how do you assist there?
So, CHOC have many programs to assist those families because we know how important it is to continue your treatment once you've been diagnosed. We assist with transport, whether it be to and from a hospital, whether it be transport funds to make sure that they come back for treatment. We also have accommodation facilities. We have 13 around South Africa. Okay. So if a child has been diagnosed and they stay, for example, in Zimbabwe, they're welcome to stay at a CHOC house for however long they need to, and it will always be the child and a caregiver or parents. And when they're staying at the CHOC house, they don't need to worry about food, they don't need to worry about transport, they don't need to worry about the basic necessities because that is supplied by CHOC. And that's just basically something that we're trying to do to assist the families to ensure that they're having their treatments. The treatment is there for anything from 6 months to 3 years. Yeah. And we will help that family as much as we can.
So you're saying, so this is actually not just available to South African residents. You mean this can actually be for, is it more for sub-Saharan Africa,
yes,
the whole of Africa, or is it, it's southern sub-Saharan Africa? All right, so they can apply to this. You also have spoken as an organization to want to equip communities with the necessary information when it comes to awareness around childhood cancer. How are you doing this? And you spoke earlier about a stigma associated with it. Try and talk to us about that.
Perfect. So we have a group of awareness coordinators around South Africa, and we go into the communities and we teach them the early warning signs. We teach them what to look out for. We tell them the referral pathways that need to be followed once a child is diagnosed. And they get a certificate of compliance. They know that they are able to refer their child, especially like traditional healers, people like that. And then basically we go into any community, anybody who needs to know about these early warning signs.
You know, this organization, CHOC's, been around how many years now?
40.
For 40 years.
Yes.
So it's the 40th anniversary this year.
That's true.
And, you know, you've seen some good times and some bad times, no doubt. And South Africa going through quite a difficult time economically. How is your funding, and how does the funding work? Because I know it's mostly through generosity of people. Definitely,
mainly through individuals and corporates. We've got a few really good partners that have worked with us throughout the past and throughout years because they see the good work that CHOC does. We started off as a volunteer organization. So when you're a volunteer organization, you rely on that funding to get you through. And obviously as times do get difficult, we do notice that there has been a drop in donations. But we do supply people with Section 18A certificates and things like that to help it easier for them as well, and a better reason to donate towards CHOC. We do still find that many people, there's so many good people out there. So many people are just going to continue to give and believe in the organization that we are.
Yeah, it's so true. Talk to us about this gold ribbon, because we're saying be bold, go gold.
Definitely. So this whole campaign and what we're trying to do in September is, when a child is diagnosed with cancer, it is not only the child that is affected. The entire family is affected. It's the siblings, the aunts, the uncles, the cousins, the doctors that work with the children. So basically, who are you wearing your CHOC gold ribbon for? And that's the ribbon that we wear. It's the symbol for childhood cancer. So you can purchase the gold ribbon on the CHOC website or CHOC region. And basically, share your stories with us. Tell us, who are you wearing it for? Who are you associated with that has been affected by this disease?
Yeah, right. Contact details also on the screen there. So if you are needing assistance and you need CHOC to help you financially as well, you do assist financially, obviously, for some of the medical care and
transport
the practitioners.
Funds, bereavements, whatever.
All of that stuff. So visit the CHOC website. That's www.choc.org.za. Yes. All the information is there, and you can help where you can. Taryn Seegers is CHOC's communication coordinator. Now, you may or may not know that this month is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, or Childhood Cancer Foundation of South Africa is trying to create as much awareness of the impact of the disease and how parents can detect early warning signs as well. Thanks again, Taryn. Let's take a break. We'll see you after this. Stay tuned.